are back at Up North F4. We are joined today with Jeff Verdorn, who is representing Oneida County, and Keith Montgomery, who is representing Vilas County. Thank you, gentlemen, for coming on and talking to us here today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Of course. So we are going to talk about 6 county lakes and rivers, which is a lot of counties to cover, and the theme is what's shaken.
Yep.
And so if you want to start off, and maybe let's talk about the purpose behind this.
So from the standpoint, on an annual basis, Oneida County and Vilas County, we hold an annual meeting to try and get as many people to come in and educate, and then most importantly to network and allow people to meet some of the experts and interact with them along with a formal presentation.
So this happens every year, Keith, and what is the theme this year?
Well, this year, you know, the theme is what's shaken, quakes to our lakes, what's shaken. So we're looking at threats to our lakes, and we're looking at concerns that we have to their health. You know, the lakes that we have here in the center north of the state, this is among the highest density of lakes, not just in this state, but in the whole country. And they're a tremendous resource. Not just in terms of as a natural resource, but also as an economic resource as well. I mean, they attract people. So if we can keep these lakes as natural as possible, we can't preserve them, but if we can conserve them, it's worth a lot in so many ways to so many people. Not just the people who live on the lakes, not just those who live on the lakes, but also businesses in the area.
And, you know, we have heard about the topic that is, you know, ongoing, and a lot of people talk about the wake boats, right? So the wake boats can be damaging to our lakes, and they can be a lot of fun. So then how do we find the right balance in all of that?
So our lakes are shallow, small, glacial type lakes. They're very fragile. Much different than some of the larger lakes that you see further south. I think of it from the standpoint of, you look at a township road, it can only handle so much weight. It's small. You look at a logging truck, 60,000 pounds. You can't go on those small roads, but they can go on the highways. Same with our lakes. Our small, shallow lakes really don't handle, or they can't handle what a wake boat can do, where on a larger, deeper lake, wake boats are fine. So you can have both, but not necessarily the same lake.
And I think there's a lot of debate as well about treating lakes with herbicides, specifically targeting the Eurasian milfoil, for example. So Keith, this is another topic at the meeting this Friday, so what's going to be discussed about that?
Well, we're looking, there's one herbicide in particular called Procelicor, which seems to have potential for controlling Eurasian water milfoil, and it doesn't seem to have much, if any, toxicity. So we'll be looking at that, and we'll be asking some questions about that. People want to know, how do we control water milfoil? I mean, you can do it mechanically, you can pluck it out of the water, you can harvest it out of the water. Well, can you treat it chemically, and can you do that safely without threatening other plants, other native species in the waters, or without threatening fish? So we'll have an expert from the DNR who'll give a talk on that, and then there'll be a panel of various people, for example, from the Eagle River chain, from the Lac de Flambeau, and from the DNR, and they'll talk also about herbicide treatments.
And Jeff, you did mention, you know, we're talking about the 6 counties. So which 6 counties are we going to be talking about?
So, and I hope I get this right, it's Iron, it's Lincoln, it's Langlade, it's Vilas, Oneida, and I'm missing one.
Forest.
There you go, that's 6.
Yeah, so it's what I would call the center north of the state.
Okay, and the meeting is happening in the morning, right? So how is it broken up? And are there vendors as well in the kind of communal area? Oh, but we have another kind of segment with that.
Yeah, we do.
Okay, let's take a break, actually, if you don't mind. We'll take a break. We'll be right back with that question.
Okay.